Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Global Channeling Practice. It is January 1st or January 11th. I was going to say it's 111 today, January 11th, 2023. And Wendy is going to share an exciting, interesting story with us to get us started. So go ahead, Wendy.
Thanks, Susan. Yeah, this is very exciting. So yesterday I had worked with a practitioner, and he does a lot of Arcturian healing. And so I wanted to work on focus and kind of like whatever I need for like my next level of, integration or upgrading and whatever. And so I've worked with him before, and what had happened is during the session, I was really feeling the energy, and which I always do anyway, but I was really feeling the energy. And then during the session, like I had like set some intentions and was kind of like, bringing in the gold light. And then when the energy was high, I was like, oh, let me like send energy out from my heart. And so I had kind of intended like, this golden energy to come out from my heart. And then, we were working together for about an hour and mostly just sitting quietly while he was, sending his energy out and getting the healing going. And then I had recently read in Convoluted Universe from Dolores Cannon in book 1. There's a part where one of her clients that she is working with, they are talking about how the ships will come in. So not the mothership, but like smaller, like technical ships. And if the person is, if they're in tune with the ship, that if they give permission, that the technicians would like work physically on that person's body. So I had that in the back of my mind, and I thought, oh, well, like I didn't say it out loud. Again, just all of this was in my mind. So I was thinking, oh, I'd like to have the technical ship come in and work with me, like while I'm in this state. If the Arcturians aren't already doing that, I'd like to have this technical ship come in and assist me with like any healing that I might need. And so I had that thought in my mind. And then I brought in Archangel Michael's The Blue Ray. And then a little bit later, I was like, oh, unless we're in this energy, I might as well like use the violet flame. And so I kind of was like, so I like had all these like different things that I was thinking about how I'm working light and energy in my body during this healing session. And so I was, we were just kind of quiet. And then at the end, I was telling him how I was feeling energy, and that all the yawning that I was doing, the clearing, because, whatever the energy needs to be cleared, it always comes with yawning. And also feeling the beings when they come into work, and then when they leave, and then when they come in and when they leave. So his methodology is he would do like a deepening stage. And at each deepening stage, I would find myself yawning, kind of yawning that energy in and out. So then I was explaining to him, I said, yeah, for a while there, that girding that we've talked about several times, I was like, I was just really feeling that girding, and I was kind of grunting and groaning a little bit during the session. And then of course with the yawning. And so anyway, I said, we've worked together before, but I don't know how much, like how I feel energy and, the sensation of it. And so I finished telling him like what I was feeling as far as like, this like feeling like my spine was really being worked on. And then I got the sense of like rewiring, right? I got the sense of rewiring going on. So anyway, so I finished telling him that. And then he says, well, I'd like to share with you the experience that I had. And I said, oh, that'd be awesome. I'm excited to like hear what you got. And he said, yeah, he said, so when I first started working with you, he says, he said, I saw a dragon and then I saw red flames surrounding your head. So if any of you have heard the story before, my soul dragon is a red fire dragon. And one of the goddesses in my past life is the goddess Pele. So working with that fire, I was like, okay, well, I hadn't intended that, but apparently like that energy was there. And then he went on to tell me, he said, yeah, and then, as we got through, and he said, mostly it was like in the second, like in that middle phase, because it was like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And that was kind of the phase where I was doing all that, like, oh, let me call in this, let me call in that. And he says, so then I saw like this golden white energy coming out from your heart. He said, and then there was this blue light that was like a beam of light that came down on you. It was like indigo. He said it was an indigo color. He said, and then I saw a ship. and then he says, and then I experienced like a violet, like a dark kind of a purple. He said, I saw that kind of like that purple come through you, like a beam through you. And then he says, and then toward the end, he said, and then I saw kind of like black matter. So as if like just the universe, like the universe as a whole. And he said, and then I got the sense that that's like all this new information was getting loaded and downloaded into your system, into your being. And so when he started telling me that, I started cracking up. I was like, wow, that is crazy, because I literally had those same like intentions while we were like quiet and working, like I was running those energies. So here I hadn't said nothing to him, and he told me what I was doing. So the idea that I really wanted to let you guys know about is that when you have this intention to run light in these energies, you're running them. Like, just because you can't see them or you can't feel them, that doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening. And if you are lucky enough to work with somebody else who is able to either see these images or these sensations, or, you know, or whatever the energies are that you're sharing or intending on, then that's, you know, what a blessing is that. But I just thought that there was just so much awe in that experience. And I have it recorded, so maybe I'll get a chance to, you know, like watch it with my phone. Like I'll like play it on my computer, watch it with my phone, and then share it on YouTube or something later. But I just thought that was just like, to me, it was like, oh my God, that's incredible. So that's my story that I wanted to share. And so, so I do encourage you guys to continue to, you know, to just trust what you're getting, work with the rays that you want to work with the energies that you want to send out and connect with, and just trust that that is happening for you. So that's all I wanted to share. And thank you. I think we're going to move on now to doing some light language. And thank you for letting me share my story with you.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome experience, it sounds like, to get all that feedback. Yeah, and great validation. Yeah. Yes, wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, those synchronicities were like, wow, way cool.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Wilma. Yeah, Wendy just finished telling us a fascinating story, but you can watch it on the replay. All right. So who would like to go first with light language? Do you feel anything right now, Wendy, or?
Yeah, you know, they're always like right there, especially since we spent that time when we were grounding and connecting prior, and we were kind of, you know, doing an energy share. So that was lovely. But yeah, their team's right here, and they're like ready to go. So I'll just delve into it. Anaro tu yaniara ta kiara ta wera nara ta ira tu hoyana na kaira tu ira maira ta ira na ka ira maira ta inyoro tu akayaniara tu yaniara ta araniara tu ira ni ti ira na ta kariara pa ira tu nyoro aniara ta ira noro tu ira nara kainara ara pa ira nara ta. Namaste and blessings. Mm-hmm. Yes, these experiences that Wendy just shared with you are a very real and etheric experience that each of you have the capability of enjoying and employing. Simply begin to work with your divine teams, work on connecting with yourselves, your higher self, and with God. And as you're connecting with God, or if you prefer to call he, she, source, as it's definitely the divine feminine, divine masculine, then these energies will come through for you. We are the Arcturians, and we're assisting with that whole experience to begin with. As you may or may not know, the Arcturians have gone through their ascension process ahead of you. And so we are here to assist you and guide you and teach you during your process. So please accept the energies of the clearing and the toning, which will ease the process as you step into your own energetic fields, into your higher frequencies, as you are reconnecting your DNA strands, as we have all been discussing. I say all as in your divine teams, as we are aware of them too, and most of us are part of your teams. So enjoy these energies. We are always with you. Be blessed, and namaste.
Namaste.
Oh, that was very nice.
So would
Okay.
anyone like to go next?
Go next.
Go for it.
Hahatia hawahiaka. Nahokasha aya. Oaya tokoa. Yahanua haya. Yahotua haya. Goho waya. Gona haya hawa. Akahaya hoa. Kahinia koa. Ahia hoa kia. Ahia hoa. Nuara hoa. Blessings.
Blessings.
Wish I knew what I said.
I'd
Just
like to go next if I may.
I was going to say, just start to put the intention that I will begin to. Susan, how did you say it? You said it so beautifully.
I set the intention to, connect to channel light language from positively polarized beings, and that would like to share a blessing, healing, or activation, for everyone in the group and anyone who watches it later. And I say I would like to receive a full translation or overview translation of the messages given. So I am that I am, and so does, or I am word through this intention, word I am word.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was setting the intention to get the translation afterwards. So while the next people are doing light language, just like kind of connect and say, what was my translation? And then just start to write down any thoughts that come into your mind, just like whatever the word is, even if it's only one word, love, even if you only heard love. So, and then that's how it starts.
I heard that, can you please go to the store and get me some Ben and Jerry's ice cream, please? That's what I heard.
Do you want to go next, David?
No, I have to go after the kangaroo whisperer.
The what?
The kangaroo whisperer.
Okay, whatever that is.
She's in the group.
Oh, Wilma. Okay.
Wilma, go ahead.
All right, I guess you're next, Wilma. You've been voted in.
I knew what he meant.
Surya atarine akarya. Sehena tiada kurja to undakashna kite. Siete na tia atakurna aitine. Shohana tia. Siete ni atino kainete. Meritia atakurna shate. Aristukarane akien to inetia. Druna kitine. Oeshe shene tiene shene yatikaina. Dorish Narakarianda Turniana, Arco Terina Arnuri Tiarunaya. Diritish Turuna Akena Turunaya, Turuni Akarania Haha, Sehena Atuinea, Borish Taraniar Kurniar Tuinaite, Duruanoroina Terenaite, Durish Tarakerna Aurnuitakarna, Surni Tiernaitene, Haishnaitene. Blessings.
Beautiful. That is such a beautiful connection for you. I love this beautiful release that you're experiencing too. Just remember, after you release, and this goes for anybody with these tears, intend for something to come in its place. Joy, love, peace, serenity, gold light, violet flame, whatever you want or whatever you're feeling. So these clearings will sometimes happen spontaneously. And when we're in a group like this, our energies combined get to be so high that it's entirely possible that, and maybe you get a sense of who this is, Wilma, but I get the sense that it's one of your past lives who is like, I'm finally able to like say what I need to say, and I'm coming out to give you this message. And the message was for you and for your heart is the gist of what I was getting from that. So thank you so much. What beauty and joy that is.
Yeah, I was getting something to the fact, yeah, release what weighs you down, fill yourself with the light and love of source. It's a brief message, but got a little bit.
I don't have a translation, but I have this strong feeling, or actually the visions that I had was the connection to the mountains here, and to nature.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't my turn.
You were right.
Well, I remember, yeah, before you moved to the area where you are now, that's, yeah, didn't we get a message from the mountain? Or you were asking about the mountains and your connection with them and how to work with them and stuff. And I remember, yeah, that you were meant to connect with them. Oh, yeah,
it was a dragon following that you did, and you told me that there was a dragon in the mountains. His name was Gildor, and I have since done some work. Actually, I did it within the week after that message, and Gildor was trapped in the mountains. I don't know what had happened, but for some reason he was trapped in the mountains, and he was like suppressed or minimized or something. And I enlisted the aid of my dragon, and my dragon sort of used blaze beams from his eyes, and he cut open a fissure in the top of the mountains, and it cracked open and allowed the dragon that was trapped inside to be free. And it was such a beautiful dragon.
Amazing. Do you know what kind of, I'm trying to remember what kind of dragon.
He was a rainbow dragon.
Rainbow.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, that's, yeah, great that you were able to assist him in that way and help him set him free along with your dragon. Yeah. So what is your
when I go on daily walks, I can see the mountains a certain point. When I get to my walk, there's a clear view, and I connect with them and greet them, and yeah, I just feeling such a strong connection. It's really emotional.
Yeah, I had that same experience with the mountain when I was in Mount Shasta, and the mountain actually gave me a healing while I was there. The rock people is who it was that kind of came through, but at the same time, it was the mountain. It was the mountain. She called me to begin with, to go and do work, to start helping with clearing and wanting me to connect with her and to bring others to assist with that as well. That's where our original trip to Mount Shasta started from. And there's something so beautiful and peaceful. And even today, it's so interesting because as I was walking, there's no sun behind where and the sun really wasn't even out, but this cloud was just shining and it looked just like Mount Shasta up in the clouds. And I was like, wow, is that like Mount Shasta? Like sending me like a hello, like a, hey, get back in my awareness. You know, I mean, I feel like she always is in my awareness and I'm connecting with her all the time, sending love and light and asking the elemental realms to, you know, make sure that she's got snow on her cap and that sort of thing. But I feel like there's more to it than, it's such a broad energy, you know, it's such a big energy. And when you connect with that, it just really like touches your heart in such a way you can't ignore it. you can't ignore it. And she is probably recognizing that with the dragon's freedom, that she is also experiencing this freedom, because she was probably part of what, not by her own choice, but the entrapment of the dragon. And so now she's having an opportunity to have also that emotionally released through you, as well as you realize that you're connecting more and more with the mountain. So
That's awesome. Thanks, Wendy.
Yeah, is it everything you dreamed it would be, living in your new location?
I haven't really had a chance to go out and do a lot of exploring. What with, you know, moving and packing and then having to, you know, get some things that I needed for the house. I mean, I now have to look after a garden that I've never done ever in my life before. So I had to buy a lawnmower and a weed trimmer thingy. And so I spent a lot of time out in the garden. And when I'm done with that, I'm usually pretty exhausted. So it's quite hot here. Just this last week, like the whole week, this week that we're into now, it's all going to be mid 30s, so 35, 34, 35, 36 degrees Celsius. I think one day might have been 38, but I haven't checked the weather. But they're all going to be quite hot days. So I'm actually ensconced within my house with the air conditioning on at the moment. I needed to mow, but there was something else that came along. Oh, yes, I've got a cordless mower, but the batteries were flat, so I had to charge them up. And they're like, now that they're charged, it's too late to go mow because it's way too hot now.
Do you know what's interesting? I can remember when we were working with the elementals, they said that like mowing days, that you should send a message out to, you know, to the fairies and the gnomes that that's your mow day. And then they kind of like will be aware of it. I don't know why. I can't remember why they said that. I don't know. Susan,
No, I remember
That's
I remember in one of Doreen Virtue's books a long time ago, I read that it was at her house in California or whatever, that she got the message, from the fairies or gnomes or whatever, the nature people, to let them know when she was going to go out to mow at the time, or her husband at the time, and give them a heads up so that they can get out of the way, so to speak, or I set that intention to, or I asked for their assistance to remove any, I guess, any frogs, snakes, anything in the grass, like if it's longer grass, like down in my ditch, down by the street, that they assist those beings into moving out of the way of my lawnmower. But yeah, I do that when I mow my lawn too. I give them a heads up saying I'm gonna mow today, and please assist all the beings to move away while I'm mowing, and then they can return. But yeah.
Interesting. You can use that. Thank you.
There was another thing too that we had done previously, speaking of like letting nature beings know what you're doing. So we were planning on going like outside, and we were doing, the Athena's warrior cry, which is, just pretty much going out and yelling at the top of your lungs, pretty much, and they advised me that if you're going to go and do that, let the nature beings know what your intention is before you go screaming as loud as you can out in the out of doors, so that you don't startle anybody. But I think that's kind of amusing, but again, I guess it's, respectful of the energy too. So it helps your being to move energy into clear, but it's also nice, I guess, too, in, polite etiquette for the beings around you to be aware of that energy coming.
Well, you are in their neighborhood when you're outside, you know.
Yeah, I've had some experiences with animals just in the last few days. I mean, I know I'm out in the country, and yes, of course, it's going to be natural for there to be kangaroos around. But usually you see them out in the fields or in the bush or whatever have you. I had one during my walk about 3 or 4 days ago. It was hopping down the middle of the road towards me. And like, I mean, I've been here 2 months, 2.5 months, not seen an airy kangaroo, not even in the grasslands, not anywhere. And the first kangaroo I see is this one that's hopping down the road towards me. And I thought it was going to full jump into me because it was just like coming down. It was aiming right for me. And then just a few meters short of me, he veered to one side and he stopped because I had stopped. He stopped in the yard that I'd stopped adjacent to. So, and he was like literally adjacent to me and he just stopped there. It was a male, but it was not a large male. It was just an average sized kangaroo. But I felt like it was really trying to, I don't know, connect with me or give me a message or something, because it could have just gone past me and gone on down the road, but it stopped in the yard, you know, next to me for, you know, 10 or 20 seconds before, and then it moved on. The following day, I had just completed my walk, and I heard a noise. I was at my front door and I looked out, and there was another kangaroo coming down the street. And I also had a street that's sort of adjacent, opposite to my house. So it came down my street and turned around and went into that street. But this particular kangaroo, I'm glad it wasn't out there because he was huge. I mean, I think he would have been probably my height. He was very, very big. Yeah, very big male. So that was the second kangaroo on the second day. Still on the second day, I came back from a walk, had my breakfast, got prepared, went to do some shopping. I drove up the road, round the corner, and a kangaroo hopped across the road in front of my car. So that was like 3 kangaroos in 2 days. I'm like, there's something in this.
Yeah, usually when you see three of the same animal, yeah, like in close succession like that, yeah, it just strengthens the message. I had a red-tailed hawk like fly above me, and I asked it. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing this. Like, ask, like, you know, thank you for connecting with me, and do you have a message for me? And I did get a telepathic message from the red-tailed hawk. It was something like rise up and fly free. Something about it, or something about it being this is a year for me to rise up and fly free. And there was a little bit more to that. I can't remember at the moment, but yeah, you can do that. Yeah, maybe the next time they show up, you can.
Yeah. I have an animal meaning book. I looked it up in there, and yeah, I quite liked what it had to tell me.
Yeah, but you can telepathically ask, like, do you have a message for me?
Yeah, I'll think of that. But at the moment, I was at the time when each of those things occurred, I was just too nonplussed to even think of anything. But that wasn't the end of it. Like, that was the end of the kangaroos. But it was the same day as I'd seen the 2 roos. In fact, I was talking to David on Messenger at the time, and there was a cat on my front porch. Now, I'd never seen a cat before here. I mean, I know that there is one in the neighborhood because I've seen scratchings in the garden where it's been, but it was actually on my porch and meowing at my front door. And I thought, how bizarre is that? So I went down, and it was just like was meowing, but it didn't want me to sort of come out because I could sense there was some fear there. But it was like it wanted to connect, but at the same time it was afraid. And I did actually sort of open the door. It had moved away. I opened the door to see if I could go and connect with it, but then it left.
I just got a message. The animals are connecting with the mountain, and they're asking you to bless them. So just bless the animals that are living there on the mountain and in your neighborhood, and they're asking for blessings.
Thank you. That's a nice message. And I'm not finished with my tale. The following day, this one's sad, actually. I was sitting inside having a coffee, and I was just reading a Diana Cooper book, as it happens, which is based in Australia, called The Codes of Power. And I heard a thump, and I thought it sounds like a bird's, hit a window. So I've got glass sliding doors that go out onto my patio. So I went and had a look, and as I opened the door, I saw this little finch laying on the patio, and we've got little finches here. I love finches. They're just a beautiful little bird. And it was funny because I'd never actually seen them or experienced them in the wild. You know, you see them on TV, you see them in books. I've seen them in cages or at an animal reserve or something, but I've never actually seen one like in the wild, like out in, just free, flying free in my neighborhood. So, I thought it was really wonderful to have these little finches around. And I saw it there, and I was hoping it was just knocked out. But I think, I really knew that it wasn't, but I was hoping that it was just, still alive and that it was not just knocked out. So I sent it some healing, and I called in the angels and sent out some prayers and asked for assistance, and just continued to send out healing for a few minutes. And then, it was just like this voice was saying, it is gone. So, I asked angels to take his soul up. And wow, that was so emotional. I mean, I picked it up and I cradled it in the palms of my hands, and I just bawled my eyes out. Just bawled my eyes out. Yes, I'm so emotional lately. What's going on?
I think when we did channeling last week on Thursday, I got all emotional, and I had to step aside because I could feel like the tears coming up. And we weren't really doing anything special. I think we were just talking about channeling, or I don't know if I was preparing to channel, but I just couldn't do it, like, because I felt these tears coming up, welling up, and was feeling verklempt. So I had to step aside and just go bawl my eyes out too, which I wasn't expecting to happen. And so, I think we're just releasing a lot of old emotional baggage, if you will, or things that are coming up. Maybe from past lives or this life, who knows, but there is a lot of releasing going on. At least there has been for me, and I'm sure others.
Yep, same. Yep. I relate. Rada, did you have any light language to share, or David? Rada, your number's up.
My number's up. Yeah, I mean, I will
do your best.
See if there's something there, but
right.
I have been feeling something trying to come up in my throat, so maybe. Okay. All right. Ki chera amesika kor lost it. I don't know. Only a little bit came through.
That was good. That's how it all starts. It came through much faster though this time.
Yeah, it felt like it was trying to leap out.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you set the intention in your head to intend for you to channel light language?
To connect. Yeah. Just like you mentioned. I didn't talk about translation because I'm like, let me just get it out
first.
No, I did the intention for translation probably, like a year later or something. But it took a good, like probably 3 months of getting activated to finally kind of, get out of my mind about it and just let it flow. But because
I'm just trying to remember the joy and the
But
fun of it.
it takes a while. I went probably a few months of trying to speak light language before it started coming out. Yeah, little bits. So
felt
yeah,
my
just
hands
keep
go
doing
forward.
it. Yeah.
You know, for some reason, my hand wanted to go forward.
Well, I do like hand movements, and other people do, like symbols, hand movements.
Yeah, the Maduras.
Yeah. So yeah, just let it flow. If your
So I
hands
think
start moving.
It surprised me. So that may have stopped me from going forward.
Right? You're probably like, your ego probably went, hey, the hand moved. What happened?
Yeah, what's my hand doing? I think that's what I was thinking. I'm like, what's my hand doing?
Yeah, just let it. Sometimes they flop. Sometimes they're little, things. Sometimes I remember one time they were like wiggling my hair around. I was like, whatever. All right.
I've got some David would like to come through, if that's okay.
Or what was that?
We've got some toning, some chant that wants to come through.
Sure.
Oh,
go ahead.
Thank you. Sono
It reminds me of Italian.
Thank you.
Yeah, opera singing almost.
Beautiful. Thank you. Ana o tukui nira apakahira tahira tukui nira pa ikahira pahira nira tuira tahina mara kahira tuiri haramara untu rutikira kahira ma akahira nara apahira nyutuhiru tuya nara kahira pa oi skria maha pahia pahia nai takawia maha pa apahia na rutuya mai pi kia na oya na ete ai no na tatayena ratayra tuya niriti ama enio nora maira narana o Quanyoro tu honoro amaira na kaira na hahai arana ranyara turo Ia mama ira kauin ira kaira maha ia naraka. Namaste, namaste, namaste. I bring you greetings of blessings this day. this 111 portal. It is with joy and excitement that we connect with you here. We see the lovely light of this group of beings gathered together in joy and friendship. And it causes us to want to bring you joy and friendship blossomed, so that you will begin to feel this energy as you are a bud awakening, moving towards full bloom. As these energies continue on throughout this year, you will see more and more of your gifts breaking through, along with these old energies that you just discussed being released and breaking through as well. The lighter you become, the lighter you are, and you are being asked to shine your light, just as Ra has discussed and advised, to connect your hearts more fully with one another and sending out this love, either separate or together. And of course, it's more powerful and potent when you are together within your group. To send these beautiful energies and rays of love. I am Archangel Chamuel. And I am bringing my love to add to your hearts, so that you'll feel this peaceful, joyous energy whenever you're connecting in with your hearts. As you know, the angelic realm is always in your presence, even for those who do not necessarily believe on the angels or call them in for assistance. We are nonetheless here. Wrapping you within our love, guiding and protecting you for all these types of incidents that may have seemed like small things in this life and in past lives. But the resonance of these energies stay within your energy field. Because as you know, the body is not just, and the avatar, not just the being that stops at the edge of the flesh. It is the being that extends out into the auric field and further out into the etheric field in the realms beyond the beyond. As you also connect in with your starseed families and those beings that look to assist you. At this point in your journey, know that the animals have been holding space for you, similar to how you have described holding space for another during channeling, or emotional support as tears are being shed, or release of any of the lower frequency energies. These animals are also beginning to come online to their higher awareness. And so you will be able to connect with them more readily. And this is not just the presence of the animals that are around you. It is also the presence and energy of the things that are around you, the home that protects you, the floor that you walk on, the chair that you sit on, the pen that you write with, the paper accepting the writings. These smaller minutiae of information, of energy, are wanting to be recognized and acknowledged. They know their purpose, they understand it. And although you may still be on your path of learning your purpose, you may at times find interesting and creative ways to co-create with some of these things. Perhaps in building a paperclip tower, taking a paperclip out of its standard use and form, unbinding a hanger to use to unlock a car door, perhaps in a past incident of a vehicle being locked. Even your vehicles have energy. Recognizing that they too need your love and support, your blessings, as you are opening your awareness to your ability to bless and being called on to share your light and your love in a more meaningful manner. So emblazon your hearts with this energy of love. Yes, feel free to call on the magenta ray. Feel free to ask an animal to share its heart expression with you as you open your heart to share your heart expression with the animal, whether it is domiciled or wild. You may also connect in with the critters of this planet. And you may be aware of critters on other planets and beings on other planets that you may also connect with their energies. If you are working in the astral, we do continue to recommend that you use your divine protection prior to this travel and work, as not all energies are high energies or energies of the light. This changes daily, and this collective is becoming brighter and brighter, day by day, week by week, month by month. So we in the angelic realm charge you to that next level of meaningfulness of your connecting with your holy presence of source within your being and your abilities and capabilities to share this with others in a broader, more expanded way, just as you have been expanding your own consciousness, the consciousness of others are also interplanetarily and interdimensionally interconnecting with your heart to assist. And co-create within energy exchanges. My blessing upon you today. Are there any questions? We are fully aware that this group likes to have questions.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm of the belief that I work in astral. However, I'm not aware of the function that I'm performing whilst in astral. Are you able to shed any light on that for me, please?
Not at this time, because your clearing work that you are in the midst of needs to be balanced first.
Okay, thank you.
And so once you have balanced the heaviness of this third density, your astral work will begin to come more and more into your awareness. You have had some hints, but it is not yet time and yet near time within your vertical timeline that you play in this game, in this world.
Thank you for that.
You are helping many others on other galaxies. And simply trust that your higher self is in complete charge of this work.
Many thanks.
Radha, do you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Could you give us some insight into during the soul planning phase, why certain souls take the soulmate path, and what sort of lessons are supposed to be garnered from that experience?
One moment. The soulmate path is simply that, the soul, the match of the soul. But at the same time, it is to learn to strengthen and build oneself as you work in combination with your soulmate. If you have come into the same juxtaposed position of crossing paths and walking together, you will challenge one another, similar to the twin flames energy. But you are also there to more thoroughly support and love one another. If that particular lifetime is meant to coincide in balance. There are those lifetimes when the soul has made the decision to work itself through conflict or working to rebalance from a prior life or lifetimes where the soulmates created karma. And so the balance of that karma needs to be played out in order to be healed and once more be rejoined and restructured within the soul. Do you have other questions regarding this?
Just a follow on in terms of, so they say if you follow your heart, you're always on your soul path. Is that correct?
When you follow your heart, you always are in your highest joy. And if you are in your highest joy, you will create the most idealistic timeline for your journey. This may include jumping timelines. Also, be aware that if you are on your soul's path to meet your soulmate must also be on their path. It is within your best intention to pray to support the other soul within your soulmate's journey so that your paths may come at the most opportune moment, the most opportune timing, so that all the pieces of the puzzle are in place. Divine timing, many of you like to say, when you meet your soulmate. There have been those, of course, that have met their soulmates who have found that their soulmate is wed to another or on the other side of the planet or not born in this lifetime. And that is okay too, as the soul decides its journey for where it wants to be. You may be connecting with your soulmate in the etheric realms in your dream time. These are all viable options for the soulmate's journey.
Thank you for that insight.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, I was just reading up a little more information about you, Chamuel. And I understand that you assist in forgiveness and the release of past traumas and hurt so that they no longer affect our future paths. And if there's any advice, I guess, around like what we're experiencing with releasing our past traumas or what we've been discussing here tonight.
Yes, this was my energy. As Ross said, there are others with messages. And this is also why, as your conversation and discussion ensued surrounding times of loss, lostedness, not quite the right translation there in energy, but you get my point. Times of regret, times of judgment, times of self-judgment, not just judgment of others. But each of these opportunities are little nicks, like little wounding that occur to your physical being and within your auric field. And so as you are healing, I am here supporting you for these clearings and healings salving the wounds, working with Mother Gaia and her plant medicines to assist in making these smoother within your field and your being once you do release. You each have still some clearing to do, and you will pick up small minutiae along the way of your lives. So you, similar to what Radha was saying, I thought I was done clearing, and yet there's always more. And yet there is always more. But we are always here to assist you with the more. Because each life's experience and interaction gives you that opportunity to have a joyous and happy experience, and also those opportunities for frustration and anger to come up. And so this is why we're always recommending that you clear each day and multiple times during the day if able, asking for Source, Mother, Father, God's help, and releasing these energies and sending love and forgiveness. Because all you can do in this 3D is to do your best. And this is our prayerful intent for you as well, as we guide you in your daily activities.
I was feeling a little bit of pain in my like upper right shoulder region, like my upper back on the right side, kind of on the inside of the shoulder between the spine and the shoulder. And I've been doing some intentions to try to clear that. It seems like it is clearing or almost gone, but was that just some additional, I guess, energy on the right side that was coming up to be released? Or I sent it to Source to be transmuted.
So the energy that you're feeling with this additional pain is the vibration of the release of the liver and the anger working its way through your body. Continue to send it to Source. Continue to send it love and forgiveness. Be grateful for the experience of the energy. Similar to this channel currently feeling much pain in the back of her solar plexus. Very physical, wanting to come out of channeling type of pain that she has been breathing through courageously. We thank her for doing this work. But in truth, it is my energy combining and merging into her being and field that is actually assisting her with some of these releases that she is ready to let go of. But the energy has to go somewhere, and the body is physical, and so you will feel it as it's moving out of the physicality of the body and then out into your auric field and then out to Source and beyond. Grounding assists with this as well.
Thank you for that message. It definitely resonates. Anyone else have any questions? Additional questions, I should say.
I just had one question. So, we're told that there are no coincidences. Is there anything that's ever random? Or is every single thing a coincidence or organized, coordinated?
If you can recall in your contracts, you will put opportunities within the path of the life that you choose. There are those, how do we want to term this? Markers. There are those markers for what you wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. And you will have jumped over that railing and crossed that marker, leveled up on occasion as you meet each successfully, because you set these challenges in your way so that you can prove to yourself and remember yourself for who you are and the power of who you are. And so what you are terming coincidences or synchronicities are when you are in your manifestation and ready to co-create. Oftentimes you will come into the agreement in the etheric prior to the meeting. And as you make these agreements in the etheric, you will say, hey, I plan on being at coffee tomorrow. You plan on being at coffee tomorrow too. I'll be there at 9. You be there at 9:03 so we can see each other as we leave and our eyes can connect. And the next time we go for coffee, perhaps it will be, I will be there at 9:03 and you will be there at 9, and it will be the opposite. And perhaps this day it is snowing or raining, and you say, isn't it a lovely day, as you stand in line together? And the conversation ensues. Perhaps it's a long line that day, and there is a further conversation, creating a quote unquote opportunity of these chance meetings. These chance meetings are, once again, synchronicities often. And we reflect back to divine timing of what your intent is and what their intent is to create in that moment. Is there only one being that can meet this crossing of paths? No. You may have an opportunity for 2 or 3 with the same vibration, the same opportunity for connection, with perhaps minutiae of differences between them to be worked out. But this is something that you can develop further by writing down what you want to manifest and putting it into the universe. Working with your new moon energies, putting it to the flame, which is the Spirit of God. Is this enough information?
Yes, thank you very much.
So I believe we are complete with questions. Would you like to perhaps leave us with a blessing or final message?
Yes. I will leave you with a blessing. The message maintains that you continue to share your love when and wherever you can, expanding it out to the collective. You are the way showers and the leaders. And as such, you carry the brunt of the work. Many others will reap the benefits of your striving. And for this reason, you are blessed indeed, honored indeed, loved by many, guided by many. We cannot say this enough times. Urunyarakahara, Unyarakaini aranoeni aranarahu. Unyarakaranarahara, Unyarakara. Onyirahara. Onara.
Great job, Wendy.
Blessings. Thank you, Archangel Chamuel, for that beautiful energy and message. And thank you for letting me go because my back was killing me. Oh, wow. Wow. That energy was intense. Usually I feel like girding like in my rib cage up front. Dude, this was all in my, I don't want to say lower back, but like above the hips, like really that middle of the backs, really that solar plexus energy, the back of the solar plexus. Wow. I felt myself trying to wiggle in there once. I was like trying to move this energy, but it was like holding you there kind of sensation. But
why did they do that? Why did they hold you in place? Like, why aren't you able to move around?
Well, for me, I actually got some insight into that. When I was telling you at the beginning of this about my connecting in and like bringing in light, and then, you know, the practitioner was able to see the light. He said that he also saw 3 of me. So my multi-dimensional aspect of Wendy, maybe my multi timelines being played out. I don't know. So I think that girding and holding you in place, because a lot of times I'm like I could feel my hands like up, like they were spread out. I don't know if they were on camera or not, but they were spread out and literally like this, not my full palm, but like this section of my palm was like, both of them were like not being lifted up, but like that's where the information was coming in, like right into my palm, like that's where the connection was. That's where the streaming information was. And my back is just now starting to be like, like the energy is still like leaving. So yeah, now I just feel like I need to get up and dance or something. But yeah, the energy was like really vibrating in like this part of my palms, and I was holding it up, and then they were like, again, like holding me in place, but it was all in my solar plexus in my back. Could it have been Kundalini energy? Entirely possible. Entirely possible. But also, I think last time, or I don't know, maybe a couple times ago, I was told, oh, it was during like learning to channel, like we were all working together, and it was that the way that, because I'm so multidimensional, like popping in and out of places, that they have to like hold me in one spot so that my focus and attention can be on the message that's being brought in. So I guess maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know.